Hello, this is Mike Canfield here. I'd like to give you a brief demonstration of JITLA in operation. To start with, we're looking at the Google search page, which we're most all familiar with since it's the largest search engine in the world. We're using that as the example, although JITLA does work with any search engine. The first thing we need to do is pull up the Views Explorer bar and come down to the JITLA Quest controller. Once that's in place, it's pretty much a set and forget program. If you don't want it, just simply close it like so and it's out of your way. If you do need it, you go ahead and use the Explorer, come down to the JITLA Quest controller, and there it is. There's various opportunities or limitations that you can place on it. For an example, you could tell it to only bring up various merchants in certain areas of the country. You could also communicate with the merchants before you know them, telling them how much you want to look at their product or service and in the price range. If any of these conditions are not met, well, of course, you're not going to see any of their ads. Secondly, they're going to look at your buyer quality rating. In this case, I'm rated as 50%, which is pretty low. That's just, a toss of a coin type of a person. So on balance, they may or may not be interested in me, so they may not be willing to offer me the amount of money to look that I am asking for. But in this case, let's just say that I want $12 and I'm looking for a television between, say, $400 and $600, we'll say. And we'll set and forget that. All right, we're ready. Now, JITLA is operational. We go ahead and input information just like we always do. In this case, let's look for a 50-inch Vizio, V-I-Z-I-O, Vizio. Hey, there's something, plasma TV. Let's just take a look at that once and see what, and by gosh, we've got one. Now, that's as easy as it gets. Here we have the usual Google search. Down in this area is called your organic search. Up on the top area, slight pink, and over on the right is called pay-per-click. That means that every time we as surfers click on this area, Google gets paid. In this area, the organic area, the people that get to this high level on page 1 are working with what they call SEO people, search engine optimization, typically. In this particular request, there were 307,000 pages available. So if you were a Vizio TV sales and service company, you've got to fight to get there. With JITLA, it's a little different, and here's what's cool about JITLA. First of all, the merchant's offering us $14. He's got a CSI rating of 9, meaning the claim on the ad itself is being rated, and we'll explain how that works. But he's claiming that he has the lowest prices in Phoenix. Well, I'm from Phoenix, and that's real attractive. So I'm going to go ahead and believe him, because CSI of 9 is one short of absolutely perfect. The score is from 1 to 10, and he's got a television that could be of interest to us. So there we go. We'll click on his ad. He's offering it at $5.95, and he's also he's throwing in there now a discount of 10%, which I also saw up here at the so if we do buy the television, we're going to get 10% off of this number, and regardless, he's willing to pay us $14 for just coming by to take a look. Now, assuming we don't buy, what we would do is a grade and go. This is where that CSI rating comes from. If everything is as advertised, then I would have to give him an 8 to a 10 if he does have the lowest prices, and it does appear that way. And it's up to us to, of course, evaluate those things. One of the other interesting areas of the surf pages that are available now to the merchants and surfers, the merchants can now actually do in-depth surveys for whatever interest they may have, and at the same time benefit the surfer. In this case, the manufacturer is asking us to our preference, in a sense, over Sony, over Panasonic, etc. And they're willing to pay 12 cents, although that's not a big deal. That's per question. So it does add up, and it allows the merchants now to do ad hoc surveys and make the surfers a part of the transaction and feel good about it. It's not a rip-off, it's straightforward. If they had 20 questions at 12 cents, that's, for 10 or 15 minutes work, it's probably worth it. Now, they could offer more, and there's no obligation for us to make an answer. But if we do, we get paid. Well, let's just say that we're interested in going forward with this transaction. Well, so far so good. I'm going to give the man a 9, if it is a man. And I'm going to go ahead and check out. Now let's see if everything is as it was supposed to be. There's my 10%, $5.95. There it is, $5.35. We simply hit the continue to checkout button, and voila, we're done. Well, that's, folks, is as easy as it gets. JITLA shows us competitive prices. It shows us who we're dealing with, whether they're reputable or not, whether their claims are real, which is really a big deal, and they pay us to essentially leave wherever that particular ad is found. This ad could be just as easily placed inside somebody else's website, like Walmart, for an example. The merchant could actually have this ad in there with the lowest prices in Phoenix with this same information, and we click on it, we get $14 for leaving Walmart, etc. And it's placed right next to the televisions in that case. So anyway, thank you for your time and attention. That's JITLA's Quest Controller in operation. Thank you.